call the meeting in order. If you join me with the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion, minutes for the July 2026 meeting be accepted as presented.
Make that motion.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed, abstained? Okay. Next, I'd like to make a motion that the financial report for July 2026 be accepted as presented. Okay, is there any discussion on that? Okay, Angela, can I have a roll call?
Mr. Humes,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik, Mr. North,
Yes.
Ms. Geist,
Yes.
Mr. Bartley,
Yes.
Mr. Beaver.
Yes.
Okay. Next, I'd like to make a motion that the jail report for July 2026 be accepted as presented. Is there any discussion on the jail report? Okay, can I have another roll call?
Mr. Humes,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik, Mr. North,
Yes.
Ms. Geist,
Yes.
Mr. Bartley,
Yes.
Mr. Beaver.
Okay, is there any old business anybody wants to bring up? Okay, moving on. Is there any new business? Drag on a little more time. Okay, if that, not that,
Well, actually, I've got a question. Okay, so I've read some different reports about, like inmates who are on like a work release thing, escaping. How common is that happening and what do you do about that? Cause that's kind of scary.
It's not super common. We do have a higher percentage of inmates on work release than a lot of county jails. Our work release program is pretty substantial. So hear of, one a year or, it seems like there's been one, or two this year, I believe. That's still very low percentage wise, considering how many people we have on there.
So do you have like, I remember years ago how they always had like, an officer overseeing. Do you have an officer that oversees?
No, we've never had that. When they're at work, if it's a work release program, they don't have an officer there. We used to have, it was called Orange Crew, which is a community service program. That was monitored by a sheriff deputy, but we no longer have that program since the beginning of COVID, damn. Yeah, COVID, yeah. So it's exclusively work release now. They all, work at jobs in the community and they're under the supervision of probation at that point. So probation does periodic check-ins and stuff while they're at work, things like that.
So how are they escaping out?
They just leave. They have somebody come pick them up and
Oh,
then we recover them, usually within a week or two. And they come back and they sit until they're sentenced.
so is it hard to recover them or something crafty?
I don't know what probation does as far as that's concerned. It's usually between them and local law enforcement and Pennsylvania State Police. So once they're outside of our facility, we don't go and recover them unless they're still on our property.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I was wondering about that because I've heard about that. And it's like, that's so scary.
All work release clientele are vetted too, so there's certain criteria that you must meet as far as your past crimes, your behavior in the jail. So not to say that catches everything, but we're not putting the community at risk with folks that exhibit behaviors that would not be conducive to be working in the general public. So, and again, that's not a catch-all because, as you are aware, there's people that just make poor decisions when given that brief moment of opportunity. But it is an opportunity to help our local employers in the area, as you, I'm sure, are well aware of. finding folks that are willing to work, especially labor's jobs, is not the easiest thing right now. So it helps pay fines and costs. It helps pay domestic relations. A lot of folks that are incarcerated have families that sometimes are depending on that paycheck to feed families and keep mortgages going. So it's a program that is beneficial, and really, truly, when you look at it qualitatively, there is very minimal risk in it.
Okay, all right.
Chad, when they do escape and they get caught, come back, they are hit with another charge, is that
Correct.
They could be looking at a couple of years in jail additional.
Yes, there's extreme consequences for that. And obviously, then you're removed from those opportunities to partake in work release, and often that incarceration time is expensive.
Thank you. Do we have anything else from the press?
Yeah, just to follow up on Destiny's question. Most of the people that work with us are mostly misdemeanors, correct? You're not letting a felony verdict go on work release.
I would be remiss to say that there's absolute black and white protocols as to what that looks like as far as who's eligible and who's not. But I know for certainty that if an individual, male or female, were to pose an immediate risk to the general public, they would not be eligible for work release.
When was the last time you had somebody escape from work release?
I want to say we had an individual, was that this spring? Was the last one?
2 months ago, we get your take, yeah.
So you can say 2025, but how did this happen?
Well, I know we had two this year. We had one in the spring, then we had one in June. And I want to say in 25, I think we had two as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to note too that, when these inmates do escape, it's usually within a short period of time that they're found, whether it be social media, people talking, giving us tips, working with probation, state police, or my office. They're usually not out very long, to be honest with you. It's a very quick turnaround. You go back. Unfortunately, I think a lot of time it's just a desperation moment for that person to decide to walk away. So, honestly, usually it's pretty quickly they're recovered and placed back into the jail. So
Is it safe to say these are mostly non-violent offenders?
Very safe to say that.
Okay.
But also, I would note, we also have a program of electronic monitoring, right? That is typically an opportunity for those that don't have an extreme private record score, maybe their first time through the system. And so we're given windows, and those windows would be from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. for working purposes, okay? And there's instances where those folks as well choose to no longer comply with those rules. And that's not it's not as of a concern because those folks are incarcerated. This is an activity that is more common than you realize. You just don't see those that are on electronic monitoring making the newspaper because those violations occur, not just in Jefferson County, but in Clearfield, Elk, and that's a cost savings as well because you can't incarcerate everyone, nor should you. So these are opportunities to try and still, the purpose is to rehabilitate. You don't want to take somebody's livelihood away unless you absolutely have to for the safety of the community. So the jail escapes just, once or twice, it seems to be this major issue when in reality I don't believe we've ever had any type of violence in escaping, whether, no one has ever been, the car's ever been commandeered or any.
honestly, I think it's just kind of a desperation for that person to, made a bad decision at the time. And I think probably over 90% of these inmates are already sentenced when they're going out on work release. So they've already been sentenced by the judge. So it's not like they're have new charges pending or anything and they're looking to get out of it or anything. They've already been sentenced on that, which makes a big difference on when the judge brings them back on how he can sentence them also. So, I mean, I think between the warden and the judge and probation, I think they do an amazing job filtering these people out and who can go to work and who can't. So I give props to that because I think the work release program is a extremely beneficial program, not only for the inmates, but for the county also.
And it's extremely competitive too, because we only have so many slots. We're limited in our resources to get inmates to and from, to house them separately. That it creates a whole new set of procedures and policies for these folks up in the jail, because now you've got an influx of people that are coming in from the outside every day that have to be processed, so that the jail community is then again safe, not only their staff, but also the other inmates. And then those folks are leaving again. So every, 18 to 20 hours, you got to run this process again. So it's very competitive in the sake that it's limited, and you have folks that truly do want to still provide for their families, and not to mention see 8 to 10 hours of daylight and have a little bit of freedom outside of their containment. So it does police itself in that regard pretty well.
Personal experience, I know it works very well. No, I wasn't gay.
Please print that. Please print that, all right? You didn't hear the last.
I did have some questions actually for the jail. At the last commissioners meeting, in the bills, I held this because I thought it was more appropriate to address it here. There were, like 3, 4 different, entries in the bills for medical expenses. First one was jail infectious diseases, and I guess this was for 6 months, $2,700. What kind of infectious diseases are you looking for?
So everybody who comes in the facility gets like a TB test. And we have to have that to make sure that they are able to be housed in general population with the other inmates. And if there is, a potential positive in those things, then we have to investigate further, get, blood work, things like that done, the scans and stuff to make sure that it is a false positive, because some people do trigger a false positive. We've never had an actual positive pop up. So it's mostly testing for that.
Did you have to test for measles now?
It's something that I've talked to our medical administrator about. We need to probably keep a closer eye on that, because some of the communities in the area are more susceptible to it if they don't vaccinate nearly as much.
Okay, and then there was, another, but the same group there for maintenance medical supplies, and that was also $2,700 for 1 month. These are just your pharmaceutical prescriptions.
Yeah, every inmate that has prescriptions or is prescribed something while they're at the jail, that, those costs have to be covered. And
Then there was another one for, inmate services for August from Prime Care for $65,000.
that would cover the doctor, the like the site doctor, the PA, all the dentists that come in. They all come into our site and see the inmates while they're there, so that way they are getting the medical care that they're, entitled to, things that they need to take care of.
Trouble to think what kind of dentistry you can do in the jail.
They have dental equipment and tools, and we have extractions, and things like that happen there. It's all on site.
Okay.
I'm sure they aren't prefer, they probably don't prefer that, but,
And then this is something completely different. There's a repair for the roof, repair steel roof lower section, 24,000. Can you kind of describe that a little bit?
We had several leaks on the one part of the roof, the old part,
Oh.
and we hired All County Roofing to come up. Didn't replace it, patched it, and it seemed to be working.
Yeah, is that job bid out then?
It was not.
No, it was below the bidding threshold.
Okay. All right, so every time you go right to jail then.
it's wonderful.
Wonderful.
Every day's an adventure.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have anything else from the press? Angela, I would like you to know it's 15 minutes. So,
14.
okay. 15 minutes and 30 seconds. But, anyhow, the next meeting will be on September 22nd. And I'd like to make a motion that this meeting be adjourned. Hey,